Mankind's way of looking at truth is a lie and has brought us way too much death. Democracy's mode of operation in spreading its evil empire is to first cause unrest in a country and then blame its current leadership. And after getting everyone upset and a few outspoken spokesmen to advocate democratic reforms, they force an election that allows them to manipulate the system enough to have their own specially chosen man elected into power, which gives them control of the country and its people. However, the problem much of the time is that the person they have chosen to win is usually just as unsavory as they are, or their conscience will convict them and they'll decide to serve the interests of their own people first, which will lead them to revolting against the puppet masters. And this brings the need to cause unrest again, to effect another change in leaders. God and what God provides for me is all I need. The threat is real. God's goodness is so perfect that it can uncorrupt you through Jesus if you allow it. Sorcery is not real. However, the evil spirit in you that has you believing that it is real is certainly real. Peter didn't start the Catholic Church, Jesus did. But the one who now holds it back will continue to do so till he is taken out of the way. The Word became flesh. I am lifting the protection, the Word of God, that he has offered the ungodly and lawless, so that they may face the fire and indignation of God. Maybe then they will remember and recall the words we have spoken and finally do what is commanded. I'm not denying the power of God when I say I don't believe in miraculous physical healings. I'm denying the power you claim to have to do them. I prefer to be called and known as the Son of God. Therefore, I gladly give up the title of also being called the Son of Man, so that there is no longer any confusion about who I am. If you don't change, you will force me to having you put out of your misery. The reason you leave your father and mother when you join God's family is because you are now part of a new lineage. I hope the firestorm doesn't backfire. If you can't personally preach to other nations on your feet, then pray for them on your knees. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and the wages of sin is death. This means we are all condemned, because the curse of the law still applies. Therefore, you must be saved by believing in Jesus Christ if you wish to escape its punishment. I may not be politically correct, but I am right. I may have to hide in a cave with Osama for a while. You can call me JC. If it's true that Buddhists don't really believe there is a God, then that would make Satan more enlightened than they are, because even he believes there is a God. It is not a sin to be rich, and neither is it a sin to be poor, but it is a sin to have more than you need when another doesn't have enough. The crowning moment of everyone, everywhere, coming together as one forever to the glory of God, may take a while to accomplish, but it will eventually happen. Will we ever be one people? I'm sure God already sees us as one whenever he looks down upon this little itty-bitty planet in the middle of nowhere. But will we ever be able to perceive ourselves as one? The fact that we all call this little itty-bitty place home will make it eventually necessary if we wish to survive and live in peace. I'm a theocratic fanatic. During the days of my confinement, which I used to consecrate myself to the Lord in order to make myself holy, my hands were continually filled with doing God's service, in that I also used the time while I was imprisoned to write this book, so that when I appear to you, you will know that I am who I say I am. So you will do everything I command in order to bring us all together to the glory of the Lord. You have my permission to print and sell as many copies of this book as you want. All I ask is that you send the customary 10% that applies to all goods sold, and that you don't make any changes to its content other than translating it into other languages, and maybe adding things like an index and study help.